Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be trust the process or ... I'll get to that in a second. Breathe in the peace and the clarity. Exhale the chaos and the noise. So, real short video today because I got to jump on to a group coaching call in a few minutes. I'm down in Orlando. Got a workshop tomorrow, Wednesday through Saturday, back home on Sunday. So do we trust the process or do we work the process? And I know, sometimes people are like, trust the process, but sometimes in this mind-body space, people will say, well, I know what it is. Yeah, I watch Dan every day, and I trust that I'm going to get better. But the real key question is, are you implementing many of the suggestions that I suggest? We want to teach the brain that we're safe, and sometimes acquisition of knowledge is a really good tool to feel safer. But if you're not getting better and you're just continuing to acquire more knowledge, trusting the process and waiting, well, that takes time. Trust the process. Are you actually doing anything proactive besides knowledge acquisition? Because I do believe that teaching the brain that we're actually safe requires more than just, I know what TMS, I know what perceived danger is. I'm going to trust the process, so I'll be okay. It may help a little bit, but if you really want to get through this journey that you're on, I believe we need to do things proactively, which means teach your brain that you're safe, emotionally, physically, mentally. Those things are really important. How do you teach yourself emotional safety? By feeling your emotions without judging yourself harshly for having them. Your right now stuff. Forget digging up the old stuff. I don't think that's necessary or even beneficial. Some people think it is, but our emotions are right now. So teach your brain that right now emotions are safe, regardless of what they are. Second of all, how do you teach your brain that your body is safe? Well, accurate knowledge is certainly one of those things, but if you're tight and tense, your brain's going to think we're not safe. But you can use your body in a relaxed state, breathing comfortably, to teach your brain that you're safe physically, right? Because if you were not safe physically, you'd be tense, tight, breathing shallow, right? Next, how do you teach your brain that you're safe mentally? Thinking-wise, well, sometimes our own thoughts are what's creating this perceived danger and scaring the crap out of ourselves. So one of the things that we can do to attend to our mental state is to not take our own thinking so seriously. Really important. You don't have to stop your negative thoughts. You don't have to fix them, but you also don't have to believe them or take them seriously. I'm not going to think about that now, right? Next, how do you respond to your symptoms when they knock on the door and get your attention? Because you will notice them. It's impossible to ignore symptoms. You will notice them. Don't judge yourself harshly for noticing symptoms. But how do you respond? Do you freak out still? If so, nobody ever got better by freaking out. So I'm going to suggest freak out less. It's a step in the right direction. That's not trusting the process. That's proactively deciding I'm not going to keep on freaking out like I have been. Next step is your ability to calmly reassure yourself when you start to notice these symptoms. And you will notice them. And if symptoms are particularly high, that's all that much more important of a time to stay calm, reassure yourself, right? Calm reassurance, always a good thing. That's a proactive thing that you can and need to do when the symptoms are trying to get your attention. Lastly is indifference. Now, indifference may not be available to you. If you're still freaking out, indifference, take it off the table. You're not there yet, and that's okay. Move from freak out to calm reassurance. Once you've been in calm reassurance for a while, you'll eventually get to the point where you're like, I have the knowledge. I know what's going on. I'm okay, so I don't care if I have the symptoms. Now, I'm not just trusting the process. You see, those things are things we're proactively doing. We take an active role in teaching the brain safety. And lastly, we engage our brain in something else other than focusing on the symptoms with a magnifying glass. What did I feel? Oh, I just felt a tweak. Is that a new symptom? Oh my goodness, right? Try not to spend a lot of time checking your existing symptoms, overreacting, overthinking any new sensation you feel. Oh, is that something else? Because we can scare ourselves into new symptoms. We really can. I don't mean to say that to scare you further. I'm just suggesting it's happened. And it's probably happened to a lot of us. So engage your brain in something else other than managing, monitoring, and fixing symptoms. I say live your life, but some people are like, Dan, I'm bedridden. I can't live my life. Okay, while you're bedridden, you can either focus on the symptoms, like a magnifying glass, or you can focus on something else. Call a friend, watch a movie, start envisioning and dreaming about your future life, pain-free, a hobby that you can do while you're in bed. Whatever it may be, something else besides thinking about, worrying about, complaining about internally your symptoms. Stop talking about your symptoms. These are proactive things that we can do to engage in the recovery process. And to me, those things are way more important than trusting the process. You can only trust a process if you're working the process. So if you're trying to teach your brain that a certain movement or body position is safe, you got to do that, training. There's a 6 steps to resuming activity. Do the training. Trust the training if, trust the process if you're using the process. But accurate knowledge plus time does not necessarily equal resolution. So, got to wrap this one up. I got a group call happening very shortly. So, love you. Hello from Orlando. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.